Ever wonder what your day would be like with Boom Radio? Yep, us too. We don't think about nightmares.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boom Bar from Wet Lagos. My name is Sola Rogers.
And my name is Oladips. You know, the one and only, the Dolupo you all know. I'm here again, like I never left. And it's a very interesting day today, as we're going to be talking about a lot of things.
Table full.
NLC strike is into day 3. There is a lot of political stories that we're going to be going through. There are actually a lot of reactions coming from the NLC, the different angles from the Senate. There are angles from the NSA. There's angles from the federal government in general.
From the
judiciary. There's angles from the labor unions themselves. The conversations around that we would also get to. Also, there are a few sports stories that we will go through. There are a few entertainment stories also that and so as we go on, you know, it's a very full day today. I hope that we have enough time to break into everything. But before I think let's just dive right into it, as we don't have a lot of time. Today, if you are watching on YouTube, I'm sure you'll be wondering, like, the first headline. Yes, and it's interesting how we're starting from that angle, how the People's Democratic Party, am I
Yeah, the PDP.
Yeah, the PDP, yeah. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate has come out to say that all opposition need to come together to defeat the ruling party, APC.
Yeah, that's the first story that we're looking at. This is something that has been making the rounds for a couple of hours now. It's elicited a lot of reactions back and forth. And I swear, it's, for me,
it's pretty much hilarious, really.
It's laughable.
It's hilarious.
I wish we didn't agree. I wanted different angles to this.
Yeah, but it's what I think. I think it's hilarious.
Okay, let me put that down. So, I think it's completely funny that after losing elections, you now call for a coalition of opposition parties. It's funny that after losing elections, going to court, going to the second court and everything, you now call for a coalition. It doesn't make any logical sense. Yeah. Now, His Excellency, former Vice President of Nigeria, presidential candidate PDP, Abubakar Atiku, is a man who has been around politics since the 90s, early 90s, like not 1999. We're talking 1991, 92 era. That's a whole lot of decades for you to still be at this stage, for someone who has contested to be president of Nigeria on more than one occasion. In fact, it's been contested before some people were born.
Pretty much. There's no
I didn't mention anybody's name.
What's my own?
Did I say it was you?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, so it's you.
Excuse you.
It too. It is you.
Any which way.
You know, so yeah, it's been around that long, and this is a call that sounds very childish to me. So it sounds like the call of someone who really doesn't understand politics. Now, when he went to America on that expedition that they went on, going to confirm if someone went to if someone went to university or not, or Chicago.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I said to a couple of people who were, because people couldn't get the logic, the evidence they are chasing cannot be tendered in the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. So why are you chasing it with so much desperation? And I said to people, the man is preparing for the next election cycle. Is that smart when it comes to preparing for election? He's already positioning himself.
What's his definition of smart? Because at the moment,
I said when it comes to preparing for elections.
He's literally not one.
When it comes to preparing for elections.
Prepare for elections.
I did not say when it comes to winning elections.
His preparations are not
it is
winning
smart
strategies. So
okay, so you see, You understand English?
Yeah.
When it comes to preparing for elections, Atiku Abubakar is a smart person. When it comes to preparing, he always positions himself to be the man. Virtually every time he puts himself out, he gets the ticket. He left the PDP, went to another party, got the ticket. Went back to PDP, went to another party, got the ticket. Do you understand? In the last 2 PDP election cycles for presidential elections in Nigeria, Atiku got the ticket. Even when the constitution of the PDP says that they were supposed to rotate, he got the ticket. So, contravene or controvert that and say, I don't know what I'm saying when I say he's smart at getting tickets, smart at preparing for election. And that's the game he's playing now. God will keep all of us beyond. This is the game he's playing. So he's saying to everybody, let's come together. When he went to see former President Obasanjo, and the media were asking him if he was going to contest, I think it was early last year or so, and whatever, he said that he has the right of first refusal. That it's up to him to say, I'm not contesting before they're going to go and pick any. At the end of it, is that not what happened? Jenson Wike with all his crew and his 5 governors and 18 governors, and they couldn't defeat Atiku in the PDP. Brass tacks, that's the fact. So Atiku knows how to prepare for elections, at least to get tickets. I didn't say he knows how to win, because if he did, he would be the president of Nigeria. There's 2 different things. And that's the game he's playing now. I am calling it early, 4 years ahead of time, 3.5 years ahead of time. Say that I, Sola Rogers, called it. If God keeps all of us, if the world is still in existence around that time, he would have succeeded in bringing everybody under one umbrella. I don't know if it's the PDP umbrella or not, but that's his game. Because now, you're going to call for a coalition of parties. Let's say Peter Obi joins him again, Kwankwaso joins him, Adebayo and all the other people join him. Let's just even say that they agree to be on the same platform with Atiku. Who do you think is going to be president or presidential candidate? You think Atiku will say, let's come together so that we can support Peter Obi? He said it openly now that he should wait for his turn. He said it last year. He was even saying that the people in the Southeast should be patient. He has a wife from the Southeast. He loves the Southeast. And that they should be patient. That after him, he will clear the path for them. That's what he said. That's what the man said. So I stand on it, looking at all his antecedents and the facts before me. And I said to myself, he's already preparing for the next election cycle. And that's why he's saying, oh, let's come together and form a coalition against APC. We need strong opposition in Nigeria to keep this government on its toes and kick them out if they don't do well. But this particular man is calling for something that is selfish, is for his own good and his own
Okay, so let's even say that.
Career.
Funny enough, I have a different angle to it.
Yeah, that's what we need.
I also think that it's very laughable. My own angle to it is the fact that we all know that the coalition of about 5 major parties in Nigeria is what brought about the APC, is what officially wrestled power out of the PDP's hands after 16 years. Is it a workable or a tested strategy? Oh, yes, it is a tested strategy. We know that the president now was one of the major proponents of that. And like you said, it was not a selfish thing. It was more of a, as long as our party is there. I'm now going to say that for the people that did it and it worked for them, are they also going to sit down and make you and watch you use their strategy against them?
Whether they sit down or not might not have a bearing on how the Nigerian populace votes.
Okay.
These are 2 parties that have claimed all sorts of spurious figures. At some point in time, the APC said they had over 30 million members. Mm-hmm. PDP said they had more than APC. Mm-hmm. Election comes. Atiku, 6.9. Tinubu, 8.7. Mm-hmm. Obi, 6.1. Or 2. As the case may be, if you want to approximate. What I'm trying to prove is that how can the APC say they have 30 million registered members? And an important election like the presidential election, their party loyalists half of them did not vote for their presidential candidate. And we have over 90 million registered Nigerians. And one party says a quarter of that or a third of that is on their own register. They went around from state to state that time, APC, registering people. They said they had 30 million plus. PDP said they even have more than that. They eventually didn't reveal their figures. So, again, if that is the case, the APC might not have a say. Because, again, I remain and say that if the people who voted for Peter Obi had voted for Atiku, or the other way around, if the people who voted for Atiku had voted for Peter Obi, the 6.9, Tinubu would not have become president. So they really don't have a say. Who has a say? The Nigerian people. It's until the Nigerian people realize it, that regardless of the numbers the politicians bandy about, you're the ones with the final say. You're the ones that have the real votes that can actually make it happen and make it work for us as a nation. You can decide to choose anybody you want to be your president. Again, even if the person doesn't have structure, as long as Nigerians come together to say this is who we want to vote, they will vote for the person. Then we can go and face the Senate and the House of Rep. But these are things that are very practical. But of course, we all know it's not going to play out like that. Because at the end of the day, people will go back to their shells or their shells. They will fail to vote. Some of them will fail to collect their PVCs. And at the end of the day, as soon as elections are won, complaints begin. So for me, I know that Atiku's game plan ultimately is to position himself for the next election window. He's already eyeing...
Wait, the man is like 70 what now?
How old is Joe Biden?
Okay, sure.
How old is Joe Biden? Is he not in his 80s? How old is Donald Trump? Is he not still going to contest for election next year? Is he not trying to contest? At what point in time did politicians tell you that their age was a problem? It's for the younger people that have problem now. If you are under something, they will tell you cannot contest for this or that. But have you ever heard that there's a cutoff age that, okay, if you're over 60, you cannot run for Senate. Or if you're over 70, you can't run for president. There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. Okay, so we'll see where this drama goes to. I'm beginning to believe now. I truly did not believe that he was going to contest again. It was planning to contest again.
Before you move on,
he actually said it now after during his what's it called? I think he said it that he wasn't
not going anywhere.
No, he said he wasn't going anywhere, but he didn't say he was going to contest.
And when someone says I'm not going anywhere, what does it mean? Especially someone who is always contesting for president. I said, are you leaving the stage? No. If a singer says the show is over, but I'm not leaving the stage, what's he telling you? That I'm going to do another show at the O2 or O3 or O4 Arena, as the case may be. That is the case of Abubakar Atiku. I say it with all sense of confidence and
he could actually,
seriousness.
He could actually change this time and might not have
and sit back and say, let someone else run.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't hear. God will keep all of us beyond that. Before we leave this matter, because I know Dolupo is, about to move to another story. There is a statement that I'm hearing a lot. Oh, Nigeria is about to become a one-party state. Nigeria is about to become a one-party state.
The way it's going, is it not?
Now, it's coming from people who are in opposition. And I think it's dumb. It's dumb for any politician to say that Nigeria is about to become a one-party state. You were the biggest party in Africa at some point, the PDP. Mm-hmm. You are the ones that have the highest number of elected officials outside of the APC. Mm-hmm. Senators, House of Rep members, governors. The other parties that are not APC and PDP have only one governor each. Apuga. 1. Mm-hmm. Labour 1. NNPP 1. Every other governorship position in 36 states or thereabout, it's between APC and PDP.
Yeah.
So you guys have been around for so long. The PDP has been around since 1998, 1999. Picking where they born that time and say, you don't know where he did. So don't come and say a one-party state again. If you cannot show up your party, if you cannot put your house in order, if you cannot...
It's not... Okay, I get what you're saying. Like, it's not the fault of the APC.
No.
No.
So look at it. The PDP governors have been hobnobbing with the president, who is an APC person.
Oh, yeah.
The chairman of their PDP governors forum was basically contradicting everything that Atiku Abubakar said at his so-called world press conference.
Well, not so-called. He called it a world press conference.
And it's so-called in my books. I did not see Sky or CNN there. And the other global media platforms. And neither was Boom Radio there, so it's not world anything. So, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say in essence is that you cannot say someone is something because the person is doing what they are doing. If you want to stop someone from doing it, you have to do it better. You need to come together and face yourselves. You were the ones that imploded. You were the ones that allowed five governors move out of your party without moving out of your party. You are the one that was suspending.
There's still PDP. Okay, some of them are not governors anymore.
They were the ones that were suspending. Before this one, Fayose suspended. Fayose's son suspended. This one suspended. You see, and you are going into an election.
Oh my God.
A few months to an election, a few weeks to an election, you are suspending your members. You don't understand politics. So stop telling us this BS about a one-party state if you are killing the other party that is supposed to be strong.
Any which way, we'll see where all that drama goes to. And let's move. I think we've spent a lot of time on this. As the NLC, there's a lot of drama coming up from the NLC. Where do I even start from? Okay, for people that do not know, the NLC has been on strikes. Oh, not the NLC now. The labor unions, the NLC and the TUC, they had declared an indefinite strike. That was, I think, yesterday, if I'm correct. And they've done quite a bit of things there. And, there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to that. Now, interestingly, before we go on with that, talking about that matter, there's something very interesting that I saw. It's still on update here. And the plan was to pick a lot of things one by one. But recently, the one that caught my attention is the fact that Imo State, where it seems that this whole drama started.
The epicenter
of all this. There's a video out there of workers going to see the governor.
Of course.
And it's safe to say there's no strike in Imo State.
Oh, there's none. There's none.
So, Imo State people that the NLC is supposedly fighting for are not striking. But everybody else is being picketed and the strike. At least the NLC in Imo State should do something. So, excuse me, what's happening with everybody else? Make it make sense.
Do you ever get the feeling at times that when you look at events happening in life, you think, am I on a stage? Do you ever get that feeling like, is something being stigmatized and I'm just being a part of it, or I'm just... Do you get that feeling? You do? I do. And you know why I brought it up again this time, why I'm bringing it up now, is you said something about making it make sense, Abi? Because it doesn't make sense. That's why I'm thinking, like, is it drama? Is it scripted? Okay, are we going through the motions? Maybe some people have already seen this episode and they know what has happened. It's just me and you and a few people that don't know what would eventually... I'm sorry about that noise from my bracelet, So, why am I saying this? Let me bring it home. Mr. Ajero, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, is from Imo State. In Imo State, the government did a staff audit and asked people to come for verification. They claim, Imo State governor claims that 98% of the people who came for the thing passed, and they have been onboarded, and now their salaries are now being paid digitally. They don't have to go through anybody anymore. Who would hate such a system? You claim that they were owing salaries. The people who you say they are owing say they are not owing them. The 2% that the governor claims, you say it's 10,000 people that the governor claims are ghost workers. He says some people transferred from one department to the other, and they failed to sign out from one. So they were receiving salaries from two places. So they had to come and, clear themselves. And some are just outright ghost workers. the Nigerian Labour Congress is supposed to be happy with such things. But every time this happens, just like when, the former governor of Kaduna tried to restructure the...
Yeah, and some people were just what's the word now? That they were completely underqualified.
And they fought him.
But you fought
for
him.
trying to upgrade the structure of education
in the state, yes.
Which is solely under his purview as governor of the state. Now, let's get back to this strike and what is responsible. Mr. Ajero was attacked. We saw pictures of after the attack. Sadly, we didn't see the attack. And I don't doubt that it was attacked. I don't think he's lying. We saw it. He even said in a video.
At this point?
They beat me. He said they beat me. And every time I hear beat now, my mind goes to the Labour Party governorship candidate in Bayelsa last Saturday's election. We they beat. We they beat. So, as the case is, Mr. Ajero, they are striking and shutting down the entire country because they beat you.
They beat you.
Okay. Keep the same energy for everybody where they beat you. Now,
so talking about this, former NLC president and a senator of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, and the former governor himself, he seems to be, he seems to have seen been in every angle of this issue. So you would say that he actually understands this kind of matters a little bit. And he made a statement, and they're saying, and in his statement yesterday, he had said that he doesn't understand why that they're striking, that he's not against the NLC striking, that in fact he will not mind to join an NLC strike because we know the kind of things that's happening in the country. But that for starters, and he made some very pertinent issues, as you're like that, the NLC is not striking in states where up until now, they're still not paying
the outgoing minimum wage.
Outgoing, exactly. Literally, it's on his way out. The 30,000 naira minimum wage that is being paid. Some states are not even paying it up until now. He was talking about the 35,000 that the federal government is paying its civil servants, and why this NLC is not fighting that state governments should also pay that money. And he made a very interesting statement about how...
Some states are not paying, are not dishing out these palliatives though.
Are you saying that the hunger that federal civil servants have is more than the ones that states are having? That if you say that until states, or even private sector, even up until that you picket banks, picket all these places and say, until you start paying people this amount of money, these governors will not have peace.
Exactly.
But that he would even join those kind of strikes. But you cannot, because one person got beaten. And the truth of the matter is that, do we have labor issues in Nigeria? Oh yes, there are labor issues in Nigeria. And probably there are reasons why there should be strikes. Probably numerous reasons. Mm-hmm. But it is the reason why, what you are hinging this strike on, I'm sorry, and on this one, I think I'm actually on the side of Senator Oshiomhole. It does not make any sense. I have said it before, and I will still keep saying it. On this particular one, I don't know where the NLC and the TUC is going with this. The TUC president yesterday had replied the senator and said that he doesn't know the full information, that as he called the senior labor leaders to hear their own side of the story. What is the side of the story? That they beat somebody. What other side of the story are you? I don't get it.
They beat you in the place that you were never supposed to go.
You're never supposed to be in the first place. Let's call it spade a spade. It's not actually making sense. But we'll see where all that is going to. Also, the TUC president had come out yesterday to say that number one, they did not see a court order before they went to a strike. That's a lie.
Okay.
Because we all know that there is a court order. We're not even involved in the matter. It's public knowledge. Let's not even go there. Also, they say, but in the same vein, he now says that they are following the footsteps of the federal government that do not follow court orders. But I thought you didn't see a court order.
Yeah, but they're now.
So how are you defining a court order that you say you didn't see?
The same way, like I said, at times you look
Isn't that just contradictory?
You look at scenarios and say, Abi is drama, Abi is a Big Brother, Labour Party, something. As in, you know, there's some things that you will hear, you'll be like, okay, is this happening? Okay, this is what I have this problem. Last year, at the height of ASU's drama. Thank you for giving me a less hard word that I was going to use. At the height of ASU's, and ASU, for those of you who don't know, is the Association of Nigerian Lecturers, one of the associations. There's a new one now. Now, at the height of that drama, I kept on wondering how the federal government owns federal universities. They pay your salaries, they give your schools grants, and still you generate internally generated revenue, you know, which you dispense of the way you want, and you are still telling them that they have not given you money. I'm like, okay, I can't wrap my head around it, because if someone gives me a unit to run in this country now, I don't have money now. Federal government, I'm not going to even increase student salary now. I mean, there are school fees. No. The IGL is something now. And the other ventures that other universities have done creatively. You know, University of Lagos, University of Ibadan are some of the schools that you look at the IGL and what they've done.
And then you wonder, like, so, those ones are on a different level.
Okay.
They don't want autonomy.
So,
Let me
bring it to the presence. Mm-hmm. I bring it to the presence. Now, these labor unions are representing people who work for the government and only the government majorly. Some of them represent some people in the private sector.
Yeah, but majorly
government workers, right? Mm-hmm. So you would say these things to me and expect me to still pay your salary. Expect me to still give you grants. Expect me to still promote you. To be honest, maybe this is why I would never be a politician. Because I would use the same energy that you use.
So, you know?
I'll return it to you. Good measure. Press down. Same energy. Same energy. So now, you're saying to the government, we will not obey a court order because you don't obey court orders. You are not telling government, it's the judiciary you are telling.
Exactly.
You're saying to the judiciary, we don't send you.
Same judiciary that can literally wake up tomorrow and disband you people.
We don't send you.
Like, literally disband you and nothing's going to happen.
They just give them perpetual injunction. Like, no more this from this union for the rest of it. There's a former governor in Nigeria that has...
Moving on from that.
I didn't mention him now.
Anyway, the presidency, the federal government is in a meeting with the NLC and the TUC, the TUC president, the NLC secretary general, and other labor leaders. Today, the meeting is being set up by the National Security Advisor with the ministers of labor and a few other people involved in that. Really and truly, I know that so that a lot of these things to douse a lot of tension, it probably those meetings, but really, I would have said just ignore them. But
now, the National Security Advisor says that the person who is alleged to have attacked Mr. Ajero of the Labour Congress is in custody. What else do you want? Let's put that aside. Wait, if that is the case, what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? Now, the same people have started going from bank to bank.
Yeah, they're picketing banks
and courts.
And courts and all that.
For instance, the inquest, the Mobad inquest, cannot hold anymore.
It couldn't hold.
Yeah, because of this strike. And that has a multiplier effect.
There are a lot of cases that that have issues that cannot. But talking about the courts, the Abuja Federal High Court has now defied the NLC and TUC strike directive. They're open, and they're saying that according to the Nigeria, the news agency of Nigeria, about 13 court cases. About 8 court cases were actually sitting as at this morning. That's what had happened. That's in Abuja. Also in Lagos State, there is also the appeal court
Yeah.
is also in session, sitting. They're already or sitting on cases for some northern states, governorship northern states, and likewise in Lagos State, the appeal court is open, and there's even a lot of security around it already, because we know that the announcement or the judgment for the governorship election in Lagos State, I think it's supposed to be today. It's supposed to start at 3 p.m. We don't know exactly if it has started, but there are indications that there's going to be a judgment in court today.
Yeah, and again, talking about Lagos, the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress says they are in solidarity with the national body, because this is what they do. And, you know, I said it yesterday, that there's a system in place, and when they see that people are defiant of this strike, they mobilize and go there to cause trouble.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like a cartel. Sounds like something that...
I just feel that the NLC is pushing it. They need to take a cue from ASU.
But this government too is sleeping. Now, what I wanted to say, because I lost my train of thought, and it just came back to me, is that now that they've arrested the alleged perpetrator of this beating, where they beat Ajero, now that they've arrested the person, when is the NSA going to arrest the people who shut down the Abuja International Airport? That's a crime. That's a crime.
I think that they're trying to be
a crime.
A little calm about the matter. I think that, like I said, I think that the NLC and the TUC are pushing it, especially when you are dealing with a government that does not seem to be doing so much against you at the moment. I think you are pushing it too much, and if you get to a point, I hope that you don't get to a point of no return. That's just my own issue with it. Like, this nonsense is dragging for too long, and we would see where all this drama is going to end. Any which way, let's move on from that quickly, as the Nigerian Senate has now threatened to privatize NIPOST over poor revenue generation.
Same energy. If you're going to, don't threaten, privatize NIPOST. If you're going to do it, look at all the other agencies that are not also bringing the required or requisite returns. There are a lot of opportunities that some of these agencies have, and you know they have advantages too, but they don't use it. You don't understand. So until you bring in people who understand, or maybe outsource it completely, like you said, they're threatening to privatize the. Now, for those who don't know, NIPOST is the Nigerian Postal, service, and of course we know that the internet has killed a lot of businesses, but they still have other things that, like for instance, haulage. They are heavily into haulage, and the online business has created more business for them because people are buying and selling things, and you know how unreliable delivery companies are now. So that's another market that they can actually expand upon. The Nigerian Postal Service has an outpost in virtually every local government. That's an advantage. That's an advantage. Just picture if everybody onboards their business, into some kind of portal where you can buy and sell things. I can buy things from the north or the east through NIPOST.
Yeah.
And I know that it's going to get delivered as against those very uncouth bike men that claim to be delivery people that you get to speak to on the phone, So with NIPOST, it could be, that's one angle that they need to explore more, haulage and all of that. They have these buildings and these strategic places. Convert them to, commercial hubs, internet hubs and everything. People can actually go there to do their business online, pay, rent the spaces and stuff like that. There's so many things that they can do, with NIPOST. So, yeah, if it means doing that, let them do it. But let it not be centered on NIPOST alone. Use the same energy for every federal agency or business that is not businessing.
Okay, so for me, I don't have a problem with the fact that maybe NIPOST. Yes, I think that the truth is that NIPOST is probably not. Last time we really heard about them is the drama that one person was fighting. They should pay one money to their money or pay other that some postal.
It was about stamp duties.
Duties and all that. Now, my issue with it is that I don't have a problem with what the senator said, but I have a problem with the fact that I think that we need to calm down a little bit. Did they do? Well, is it working as it should be? Maybe not. But I also feel that yes, the last administration probably didn't do as much. Two people I have a conversation with. What happened to I'm sure there's a committee somewhere in the Senate that support that the NIPOST is their oversight duties. What did they do then? In 8 years, who are the people? Who was the minister? Who was the minister in charge of NIPOST then? Who was the direct DG or CEO or whatever it is that they call the NIPOST then? I think that it is too early in a new administration to do that. I think it should have been done a while ago. Maybe after the first 4 years, you say, okay, what's happening? You people have had ample time to turn this place around and it's not turning. Yeah? I think that in the last couple of months, they literally just got a NIPOST, they just got a new Postmaster General. Remember that in the past few weeks, there was a lot of drama about the old person not wanting to leave. Now you can even imagine. No wonder the place was not even working. Anyway, now that they have a new person, it's barely a month that he got a new person. I'm not even sure it's up to a month already. I think that they should give the person there a little bit of time. 6 months, 1 year, let's see what's happening. Are they going to turn it over? Like you said, there's a lot of potential that private companies don't even have, that NIPOST has. So, will there be a turnaround in NIPOST? If there isn't, to me, I think 1 year max is enough for anybody to want to turn anything they want to turn around in NIPOST. So, if after like a year you don't see it happen, then you can say this. But I think that it's too early, especially when there's just new administration coming in. So anyway, moving on from that quickly, thankfully, 67 passengers escaped death as an aircraft again skids off runway in Port Harcourt. I think this happened in Abuja a few days ago.
At the weekend.
Yeah, and then now it's happened again. I think that the aviation ministry has their work cut out for them.
In the last 2 weeks now, we've had near misses. It was the Minister of Power that
crash landed.
That was involved in some crash landing. Then the plane, I think, is one of these state-owned airlines, that had an issue a few days ago. I think is it Cross River, one of these their airlines that had an issue. Then this one, so this is not a good trend. It's not a good pattern. Is there something that they're telling us without telling us something that, for instance, have they dropped standards? Who is inspecting these planes to make sure that everything is in place? Are the runways in good shape? There's a whole lot of stuff because we just need to prevent all these avoidable accidents from happening. We don't want to lose anybody.
Yeah, completely avoidable.
It's not something that they should slip over. I saw the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo. They finally resolved the issue of the second runway. The Abuja is supposed to have a second runway, and there's been a lot of back and forth. But now there's resolved it. The people in that neighborhood have been, I think they're going to be paid or have been paid, and the land is now open. The contractors are moving to site, like they said. But I also saw a picture of him inspecting an airport in the eastern part of Nigeria, and it was the runway. They're building a new terminal, but the runway, there were patches. Then I'm like, okay, I don't like the sight of this. Do you understand? Whatever it is that they can do, even if it means shutting down those kind of airports until you upgrade the runway, please do it. Every life matters.
Okay, so it is safe to say that the appeal court case happening in Lagos is actually
It's ongoing.
is ongoing at the moment. Let's just wanted to put that in. So yes, the courts are actually open in Lagos as well. Moving on from that quickly, Nigeria's inflation rate has risen to 27.3% in October. It's kind of expected anyway. We've seen a lot of things happening here and there, so I wasn't expecting anything less. Not like, but especially with a lot of issues that we're going through at the moment, it's kind of expected. And where the real money issue I wanted to talk about was where the CBN has now put out a circular officially that all naira notes remain legal tender indefinitely.
It was this time last year that this kind of memo should have gone out. And a lot of people will still be alive today. A lot of pain and anguish that Nigerians went through and are still going through would have been avoidable and avoided. Now, picture this for those who are non-Nigerians who are listening or watching us. The former central bank governor decides that they're going to redesign the Nigerian currency, the naira. Then starts to mop up, the currency that is in circulation. Mops up about 2 or 3 trillion naira, thereabout, and releases only 500 million. Of course, that's chaos. That's chaos because Nigeria is still largely a cash-based economy. With people moving towards digital banking, slowly, there was a shock in the system that just messed things up. And at some point, people had money, but they couldn't get access to their funds. And people suffered, So now there's a new CBN governor that is saying your old notes are legal tenders, and this is what happens everywhere.
Yeah, until
the currency is
okay
redesigned,
for it to be phased out.
They slowly change it. Like for every time that old currency gets to the bank, it doesn't go out again.
Yeah, that's what it
doesn't go out again. God help us. God save. God save us.
Interestingly, we'll see where all that goes to. I really think that we needed that respite, really.
One of the reasons why they had to put this out.
Right.
There was already problems in some parts of Nigeria.
Yeah,
people were already queuing up in the banks. Again, people were already holding the new notes. It was just beginning.
I think kudos to CBN for quickly putting this out before. That by December,
the so-called deadline.
Okay, so I have a very random question. So this is, please, I know a few people, are trending. Why is Reminisce trending?
Okay, so we're about to talk about Oladips then.
Yeah.
That's it. So last night, Nigeria lost another great talent in the form of rapper Oladips. Mm-hmm. And apparently he's been going through a whole lot. So Oladips was Mohbad's friend, and we've been talking about Mohbad and all. And Oladips was signed to Reminisce's record label.
Oh, really?
Then they had a falling out.
Oh, okay.
Then he left the record label to stand on his own as an independent. Reminds you of anything or anyone? Yes, Mohbad, Naira Marley, Oladips, Reminisce.
Oh, God.
Now, Oladips even has an album that's supposed to have dropped. He has a 17-track album that he held on to because of Mohbad's death. He said Mohbad features on this album, and he wants to respect his memory by not putting anything out until all the issues and justice for Mohbad is sorted out. So, 17-track album supposed to drop before the end of the year. Now, he posted a video last night about, I think he had sent someone on an errand to get him some drug or medicine.
Medication.
Medication. and the person probably wasn't picking calls or something. Long story short, the person came through. Then again, another video emerged of him being rushed to the hospital, and just some stuff about his mom. But since it's not clear to me, I'm not going to say that because it's our job to make things clear. Now, back to why is Reminisce trending? They had a falling out. And at some point, it is alleged that Reminisce people would attack Oladips. The people are alleging this. There's no video like the other one.
Exactly. I just have a question.
So
please, when are we going to keep the same energy?
There's a video of him, Oladips, saying, look, I'm tired. I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to make good music. I just want good vibes. Let's move on. I don't want to fight anybody. Want it. Same guy, you know, amazing guy, Oladips, very great rapper. Never shies away from controversy. Last year, around this time last year, Wizkid said something about rap being dead. And people called him out. Oladips did the same thing, did a song about it. You know, there was a time they were calling Wizkid, she tell me say, because in a lot of his songs, it's a popular phrase that he uses. He actually did a song and all of that, you know. And when people were saying he was trying to resurrect his career, I said, yeah, whatever it is. You know, then later I apologized to Wizkid and said, Wizkid is not the problem. That's the rappers that are the problem. That Seriki had a concert and they invited people and they didn't invite him. That they're blocked, more or less alleging that he's been blocked in the game, and that's how rappers are not helping themselves. You get. So a lot of people have started going back to dig up old videos and old tweets, basically pointing out that yes, Reminisce, the label owner, and Oladips had a problem. Now I saw an interview that he had with Niger FM, you know, and in that interview, there was a part where he told them that he had called one of his friends that worked at, that's Oladips, that worked at Niger FM, and they said, oh, that his songs are not on their system, that he has been put on the block list. And he said that the first time he went to Niger FM for an interview, it was Reminisce that took him there. So he's alleging that there's someone, and he didn't hide, he said it out on air, that there's someone in that station that might be a loyalist of Reminisce. Yeah. Now the station cleared the air and said that what they do is that they recycle songs, like they take some songs off the system, and so there's no such thing. Now he now said that when he started trending last year, when he, you know, called Wizkid out a couple of times and did the diss song and all that, that he sent a message to Reminisce. That Reminisce did not reply. Then he now sent a message to people who are close to Reminisce. You know, at some point he even mentioned Oladips' name in another interview, but that they did not reply. That he's implying now like that Olamide has taken sides. That Olamide is supporting Reminisce over him, and that is fine. So he just kept on mentioning Reminisce's name. That even when he reached out, that he wanted to ask him, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong when I was signed to your record label? He said he had a song La Cuckoo Lala that was doing very well, and that the song was not pushed. So that it wasn't good musically. Then he now went to Mayokun. He went to Mayokun and got him to collaborate with him. That the record label doesn't know how he got it done. That he did it. And he's like, okay, can you at least shoot a video?
The video for it.
I've done the part of getting the song mixed and, you know, produced and everything. And that is, and he said that was the last straw for him. So he left.
I think that, first things first, when are we going to keep the same energy?
Justice for Oladips.
Exactly. When is
Naira Marley
Reminisce going to start getting cancelled? Keep in mind, I'm not saying that
he's culpable.
Culpable.
No.
But
same energy.
With the energy that we gave, do you understand? I'm like, when are we going to keep up the same energy? That's number one. Number two, with the same energy, when is it going to be justice for Oladips?
Yep.
It's 28. There are few videos that popped up. It doesn't look like it was just a by chance kind of death. That's where my question comes from.
There are a lot of similarities.
So are we going to be when are we going to start picking and choosing.
Or is selective justice that
Or a selective justice that we're going to be doing now. That's it. Like that's the hurtful part for me, because I'm sorry, I don't know if it's suddenly going to blow up tomorrow. But as of today, I'm still not seeing nothing. It is keep up the same energy.
The actors, and when I say actors, I don't mean people who act in Nollywood alone. I mean the people who took it up then. They know themselves. Some of them have become bloggers now.
Except you want to tell me that the Naira Marley and Mohbad issue, there was something else to it.
It's looking like that now because there's no justice for Oladips.
There's no justice for Oladips anywhere.
Nobody's saying anything.
It's not making
and this
sense.
is the hypocrisy that we keep talking about. You know, and your cancel culture is driven solely by agenda. Because if it's not that, there are videos out there showing that even in his songs, because again we were going on about Mohbad songs and the lyrics.
Yeah, and the lyrics. That's what I'm saying.
Go and check on the trends table. There's something called Die Young, and or Google Die Young and add Oladips there and see what props up. In one of his songs, he was talking about how broke he was to the point where it was Zlatan that rented an apartment for him and put him on. And I remember that they dropped an EP together. We played that EP. You see, Boom Radio, they try. Mainland to Island. That's the title. And we've been playing those songs. Now, it's trending. The same hypocrisy is happening. It's trending. People are downloading the songs. Yeah, before you know it now, top 10.
Top 10 is song to enter.
And the guy there, like, if they find support, no go give him.
I think
Clap for yourself, Skelechuku.
I don't know what is happening, but the truth of the matter is that looks like the music industry in Nigeria, as big as it's getting, is getting very toxic.
Yeah, it's expected because it's an all-comers affair.
But I don't know what to do or how to go about it, but I think people really need to look inward. You can't continue like this. Very young people can't just keep dropping dead. So
again, we're in partnership with the Association of Artist Managers. I think this is a call to action for them. This is a call to look.
Okay, what's happening in these record labels? You need to there should be some form of policing.
Yeah.
There should be some form of monitoring. What is happening with these record labels? Who's in charge? What's your modus operandi? What do you do?
Everybody hears these things and looks away. Oh, it happened to Case Daniel. He survived it. But do you know what he went through?
Yeah, some people are probably never going to survive it.
It happened to this person. It happened to that. Does that make it good?
Doesn't make it good. Because people go through it and they get out of it does not make it right. Does not mean it has to happen to other people as well. Same way we're seeing it now is happening to some people and they're not surviving it.
Yeah, nah.
It's a very, very sad situation, really. It's a very sad, and I really, really hope there's also some level of, even with the police, there's a level of investigation that goes on with this person's death. Now,
I know that lawyers do some pro bono work. Mm-hmm. I don't know if as an association, because we try to profess solutions at the bar, if as an association, the Nigerian Bar Association can maybe organize seminars and look to maybe second a few lawyers to some of these artists upcoming, and just walk them through the process. Like
you have an issue, this part of you just go, it's free.
Some kind of committee or something that can help us safeguard artists, especially when it comes to signing these contracts.
Any which way, we'll see where all that goes to, and still talking a bit of entertainment. Rema's O2 Arena concert was yesterday. There's been a lot of
massive.
It was sold out.
Massive.
It was huge for someone his age. It was definitely a record
23.
broken. It was beautiful. There are a few things back and forth. A lot were talking about it. People were talking about the stage performance. I saw a bit of stage performance. There was a part of it that looked a little bit creepy though. But
the entry, the us and all the fireworks and all that.
Kind of reminds me of one or two other American artist concerts and all that.
I think it was just art to me.
Anyway,
and maybe I'm just being naive, but
we will see. We will see where all that goes. But kudos to him and congratulations to him. it's no small feat for you to sell out
the O2.
The O2 on a weekday. It is amazing, 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 amazing. Also, just that you also wanted to quickly go through is since yesterday, Will Smith had been trending, where a particular friend and assistant of his, former assistant of
Bilal.
his, had made some accusations, basically calling him gay.
Yeah, not just calling him gay, describing
a scene with another
top actor,
Duane Martin, saying that he cut them pants down and all that. My issue when I saw those things is that, sorry, what's people's definition of best friend? You call yourself
the lady,
former assistant,
the lady that was interviewing him, the Bilal guy said it to him, that with a best friend like you don't
need enemies. You don't. Because, see, let's even assume all this story is true. Yeah? How is it information that about your so-called best friend that you feel that it should be made public? One. Two, I'm sorry, but it's in the US. I don't think being gay is such an issue.
Yeah, in America.
One.
It's not.
Two, especially with someone with his kind of family dynamics, I don't think he's
very, very.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's looking at it. Yeah, I don't think it's such a big deal. From looking at it from that angle, it is also in the US. I don't think it's that much of an issue. I'm not saying that it's true. I'm just saying that if it were, my own issue mainly comes from the person. Like, okay, what is this information supposed to do to us?
They always say that the graveyard is the richest piece of real estate in the world. And why they say that is that a lot of ideas
and also a lot of secrets
are buried there. And that's why I brought it up. That the graveyard is also the richest vault of secrets. There are a lot of people who would die with secrets that they know that if they put it out can mess people up.
Like, okay, what's the point?
Now
is where I'm going.
I'm sorry, the Bilal guy was talking about in the podcast or the interview that he had, was talking about if they check his Instagram, he's done a lot of things with a lot of artists. But there's a video of him. I saw another video of him and Will Smith. Will Smith was like, "You're in the book. You're in the book. I put you on. I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna blow you up or something like. You get." And there's a part where he's like, he's the one that's Will Smith, that Will Smith is not his friend. Yes, you are not his friend. You're not.
No, you're definitely not his friend.
So, but what I'm trying to say with all of these things that I'm rushing through with is that loyalty is priceless. And Bilal looks like someone who wants to cash out on Will Smith's downfall. Will Smith is on the decline from the day he got on that stage to slap a fellow celebrity in the form of
and then he decides to
what's his name?
Married to
Chris Rock, or what's his name?
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Then living a charade of a relationship, knowing that you and your wife were no longer together. So all of these things have culminated in demarketing Will Smith to the point where everybody will believe anything they say about him. It's not my place to hold brief for him, whether he's gay or not.
Okay, so.
But I feel pained that a so-called friend, someone close to you, because you see, it's only when people get close to you that they can see different aspects of you. And when they see it, it's not for them to broadcast it. I was watching a video where Birdman, Birdman, the rapper guy, was saying something like that hatred is fine because hatred is from afar. There is envy that you must be afraid of. It's the people who are close to you and they're the only ones that can do that. Shout out to you, Bilal, man. With friends like you, nobody needs enemies.
Nobody needs enemies. I don't get where he was coming from, but it's not making any sense. Anyway, okay. We do not have a lot of time. We have a few stories wanted to, but we do not have time anymore. Just wanted to go through it. A Nigerian woman has now set a Guinness World Record for the longest handmade wig with 351.28 meter wig. Also, the Super Eagles have arrived at Uyo camp ahead of World Cup.
They trained last night too, and they trained today already.
So we're looking forward to that. And what else can I say before we leave?
Manchester City.
Manchester City is they're definitely smiling to the bank.
They're not just the biggest. They're now, earning more.
Yeah, they have the largest yearly revenue ever recorded in British football. So there's a lot of money where that came from. But it's okay. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We will be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Peace.